I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And I'm Tyler.
And welcome to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. As you can see, our third wheel is still with us, and we're glad to have you home still.
Thank you.
So we've got a great show today. And Tyler, since you've been here, you've been doing a lot of work. So what are the two segments we got for this week?
Okay, we have Mark Gunn up next. He's celebrating 10 years at B96.
Wow.
33 years in the game, but 10 years at B96. So it's definitely a mile marker. And I had a chance to sit down with him and interview him and just see his take on his time at B96 and what he thought about the industry and where it's all going.
Okay.
It was interesting.
All right, so take a look at this.
Blazing hip hop and R&B, it's B96.5. How you living? It's Mark Gunn. Make sure you check us out online for all the hot new stuff. You can get a hold of us at b96jams.com. Check us out on Facebook or on Twitter at The Real B965. More hip hop and R&B on the way next. It's Louisville's B96.5.
Well, you just heard it here first, Mark Gunn. And I don't know how long you've been living here, how long you have been alive, but it has been 10 years.
Yes, ma'am.
For you on B96. Mm-hmm. 10 years.
10 years.
A decade.
A decade.
I would be 14. So I know I've been listening because that was all my thing. B96, 14.
Wow.
That's my target. I'm still on the target. So.
Right. Yes, you are.
So I've been listening to you for 10 years.
So you've grown up with me.
Yes, I know your voice.
Wow.
It was very natural for me to hear that, and now to see it in person.
Right,
it's exciting, and his voice sounds like how you would look. Like it makes sense. You know how sometimes you hear people's voice and it doesn't match? You match.
See, now that is a question that I've always wanted to get the answer to, because for years I've always heard that, well, you don't look like you sound. Well, then, first of all, what does that mean? And secondly, what am I supposed to look like? I've had everything from 6'8" and 300 pounds
negative
to 5'10", 180 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. It's just been crazy. So the nearest I could figure is and one of the beauties of radio is we are definitely theater of the mind.
Yes.
So whatever mental picture you have in your head when you hear us, that's what it is. But with the advent of the internet and all kinds of interactive media, you don't have that imagination so much to rely on, because you could see us as well as hear us.
And you're always out on the town and out and about and at every party and at every place. So not in a bad way, in a good way.
No, exactly.
You're on the scene. So
exactly.
We know Mark, we see Mark, and it's probably because I do see him all the time. But I can say this too. I know some people when I'm in the studio with them and I hear them and then they talk to me regularly, it's a totally different voice.
Yeah.
You keep it the same. And I like that. And it's not different.
And that's been I think that's been one of the secrets to my success for the last 33 years.
33.
Is that, when you start in this business, there are basics that you learn about being a DJ, disc jockey, radio personality. And then the really good ones unlearn everything that they've ever been taught.
Oh.
And it's about being who you are. As a matter of fact, the analogy I like to use is radio is like professional wrestling. The most successful pro wrestlers are the ones that are themselves, instead of having some fake gimmick, because people can relate to them. And we are pretty much the same way. If what you see and what you hear is what you get when you see us on the street, if we're that consistent, it's going to be easier for you to relate to us.
Exactly.
Not only, not as this elevated celebrity type, but as a regular person.
Exactly. You can take someone seriously. You can appreciate what they have to say. The way you present yourself has always been good. Now, I was going to say the famous DJ, and then I was going to say famous radio host. I know it kind of gets a little confusing there, but we're going to take a break and come back and really get down to what is he, a DJ or a radio host, and what is the difference? We'll be right back with more Urban Lifestyles. Okay, we're back with Mark Gunn, celebrating 10 years, 10, at B96, and 10 wonderful years.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
But we left talking about DJ versus radio personality. What is the difference?
To me, there really is no difference, but this whole thing got started as soon as we really stopped playing vinyl.
Okay.
Because when radio started, disc jockeys, DJs, we actually spun vinyl records on turntables. And so, yeah, just like a regular horse jockey, we were disc jockeys.
Disc jockeys.
And over time, as radio evolved, there were some in technology and the whole 9 yards. There were some in the business that took offense to being called DJs or disc jockeys because they were radio personalities.
Oh.
And, you know, I always thought that was a bunch of garbage because, you know, the DJ is at the very heart, the very essence of who we are and what we do. I mean, if all this technology ended tomorrow, we would go back to playing that vinyl.
And it's still about the music.
And it is still always about the music. So to me, it's like, call me a DJ, call me a radio personality, call me whatever. Just spell my name on the check roll.
I know that's right. Okay, so 10 years in radio.
Yes.
You went over, you know, disc jockey to radio personality, but just in the radio, in here, in itself, how has that changed in 10 years that you've been here?
The biggest changes have been technological.
Okay.
We've gone from playing CDs and records and these 8-track looking contraptions to being totally computer based.
Right.
We've got huge music databases, commercial databases. Everything is networked and interactive. The knowledge that you have got to gain to keep yourself relevant, the game is always changing. So the more technologically savvy you become, the more relevant you are in the business.
Wow.
But what hasn't changed is the importance of the radio personality in that he or she is the connection to the community.
Exactly.
He or she is, in a lot of radio markets, the closest thing to a Hollywood celebrity that you're going to have. Television has that to a certain extent, but it's limited because most of your local television personalities are in news.
Exactly.
And as great a job as they do, they're somewhat limited in what they can do and the types of things that they can do.
Exactly.
Whereas we, as disc jockeys, radio personalities, DJs, can be reflections of the lifestyle.
Exactly.
In our case, the urban lifestyle. Like you mentioned, the parties, different events, social occasions, just anything and everything connected with the community, we have an inside plug to because we're able to do it. Right, exactly.
And I can say this too. Music, more than news and more than the newscasters and things like that, music is everyone's connection. I don't think there's one person out there who can say, I don't have a favorite song or a favorite style of music.
Right.
Music is just so powerful. But on an even better note, speaking about music, you're a DJ, you're a radio personality, you know music. So what is that one song that is just like, when you just hear it, it doesn't matter what your mood is, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, I call it my driving down the Pacific coast in my convertible song. Just what is that song for you? Everyone has one. You're the master. What's yours?
You know, for me, let me back up a little bit because the other connection that I have with music is as a musician.
Oh, yes.
Second generation musician. I'm also a record producer and a music consultant. So I'm coming at this from a totally different perspective than the average person.
Exactly.
I have those different types of songs. There's not one particular for me.
Okay.
Because of my taste in music. It is so diverse that, and it's not like I'm always looking for something new. I'm just looking for something that makes me feel, whatever it is that I want to feel. So there's not one particular song for me.
Okay.
It's just a whole lot of songs.
I'll take that. But the key we can take away from this is that there is music that just makes you feel.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It just... And I can't say that different moods because I have my driving down the Pacific Coast Highway and then I have my just chilling. But music makes you feel. You make all of Louisville feel. For 10 years at B96, it's so appreciative. And I'm always appreciative to be in your presence because you're just such a music master.
Oh, anytime. No, it's just, if you're in something that you love, you're gonna soak up as much knowledge as you possibly can about it. And exactly. And if you love what you do, it's like they always say, you never work a single day in your life.
Tyler, that was a great piece you did. And Mark is definitely an asset to the community. A couple of weeks ago, we got to go to his surprise birthday party, and he was totally surprised. But he does really some great work in the community.
And speaking of surprises, the way he talks, it has sort of like an accent. It's northern. I couldn't figure it out. And just learning that he's an Air Force brat, I guess that's what you call it. His dad was in the Air Force for a career, and they lived in places like Idaho. And
he has seen the work.
And how his sisters and them say that he was the one that introduced them to diversity of music.
Yeah. So Mark, keep up the great work. We'll take a quick break and back with more of Urban Lifestyles right after this.